Alright folks, John Wick Chapter 2. I reviewed John Wick 1, I think, just John Wick. You can find that review up there. But folks, time to review the second one. Let's get into it. I'll say I said it in the last one, but of course it still stands. There's something about the combat. It's so brutal, yet so satisfying. And I think in every entry, they just continue to refine it and just make it more compelling, at least in certain scenes. I'll say, so the continuation from the first one to the second one is natural. It's a fine storyline. It makes sense by all means. And I'm not sure I could come up with a better way to take the franchise, but I do think that it is not as interesting a premise as the first one. The lore is, of course, expanded, so everything around the premise is perhaps more interesting, just because they're adding more to it. But I don't think the actual plot line itself is better. Along those lines, though, the fact that the villain is lame does give us a little bit of the spotlight to his henchman, which is, this mute, brutal assassin, who I find, to be an interesting just because of that trait, a mute assassin, and she's pretty intimidating. And I'm wondering, because there are a lot of different characters, specifically in the second and third, that are not killed off, right? They are kept alive, presumably for the purposes of being brought back. So I'm wondering, when will we see them down the line? Are they going to form some sort of coalition, take down John Wick altogether? Don't know. I'm excited to see what they do with him. I hope they don't just ditch him. So a large portion of this film, unfortunately, is pretty it's not boring exactly. It does, skate the ice a little bit. That's not the phrase. Walk the line a little bit too close. But I will say it is pretty generic, not really interesting. But the minute that the hit gets put out on John Wick, then it picks up, right? I don't know exactly how far that is into it. Maybe halfway. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But it gets really, high. Lots of pressure from that point on. It just gets really compelling. And so the action set pieces, again, are a little sort of generic of sorts, but the museum and then the mirror maze at the end are just a spectacle to behold. Two incredible scenes for sure. And John is he's absolutely murdering everyone. And then I'll just say easily the best thing about this film has to be that's one hell of an ending. And especially that cliffhanger, where he has to run off and everyone's after him now. It's got to be one of the best of a franchise in the sense, Infinity War? I guess this came up before Infinity War. But just off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of cliffhangers and franchises. This is a great cliffhanger. It really is. It's among the best I've seen. Folks, this one has to be an A. This one has to be an A as well, because I think it deepens the action, sort of makes it better. Doesn't do everything as good as its predecessor, but it certainly does some stuff better, and it does everything sufficiently. So folks, I think John Wick Chapter 2 is it's that same, still packing that punch that you wanted to. Got all that brutal action, got all that great, I was going to say character moments, but not really. But anyways, folks, John Wick Chapter 2 is an A. Alright, folks, so that's my review of John Wick Chapter 2. I will, of course, be reviewing John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, tomorrow, if you're watching this video when it came out. And then following that, Nobody, the Bob Odenkirk movie. And I'm going to sort of rank them all together at the end, because I think there's enough of a similarity there to rank them and to review them all. Folks, I've been EDPC Reviews. You've been amazing. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.